Welcome to Detroit. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass. You can drown them. And that's what we got to be. That's who we have to be. Because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. We are doing a live stream today, and we are obviously going to be covering the live stream of the last preseason game for the Detroit Lions, which is obviously the Lions versus the Houston Texans. The Lions will be at home today against the Houston Texans. We are currently now just waiting for the game to get started, which should be in about the next 10 or so minutes. To answer your question, Nick Burton, because I do see you put a question in there about who is starting for the Lions today at quarterback, chances are almost 90% that it is going to be Hendon Hooker because Kyle Allen started the last game. The game before that, which was game 2, that was Hendon Hooker, and then obviously the Hall of Fame game, that was Kyle Allen. So if you go based off of the pattern, Kyle Allen was starter game 1, Hendon Hooker was starter game 2, Kyle Allen was starter game 3. So game 4, it would stand to reason that they are going to start Hendon Hooker, especially considering the fact that, hey, the Lions are still trying to figure out even if it's worth their time to keep a third quarterback on the roster at this point. Duke of Games 50 says we are Grant Stewart days away from game 1. That is correct. Our first game is against the Green Bay Packers, which will be on September 7th. Pardon me. I'm still in August mode right now, and unfortunately, I've got something else that's kind of preoccupying my mind at the moment, but you know what? C'est la vie. We're going to do what we do. But I hope everybody is having themselves a good weekend. I hope everybody has got something in their life that makes them happy, makes them smile. Obviously, any questions, any, thing you want to say, absolutely feel free to do so. I will also say this, like and subscribe if you have not done before. That helps me out as well. If you feel so inclined, donations are also appreciated. So, again, I appreciate that as well. Nicholas Johnson, nice to see that you are here. I appreciate that. Drede says, do you want to see the starters play today? No, I'll be honest, I don't. I don't want to see the starters play today, and I don't think the starters should play because pretty much what we've been hearing out of training camp is that, hey, whenever the starters have gone up against other starters in joint training camp practices, they've done fine. They've either been slightly better than who they played against in terms of the Houston Texans, or they absolutely demolished who they've been against in terms of the Miami Dolphins. So for me, it's like there's no sense in putting the starters out there because they're getting more than enough training. They're getting more than enough practice and experience in the joint practices. There's no sense in putting them in harm's way for the preseason games. Duke of Games 50 says, my life is coming to pieces beyond anything strangers can help me with, but thank you for the thoughts. Understand, my friend, life as of lately has, it's definitely been something. I'll say that. I'll say this, Independent Aquaman. This is one of my favorite hats. I'm going to say this. I have 2 hats that are my absolute favorites, and you see me wear. Well, actually, take that back. There are 3 hats. They're all black based. This is one of them. The other one is the black hat that I have that has the white stripes that are coming down the front here. That hat I've been asked more than enough times. They're like, David, where the hell did you find that hat? Where did you get it? And I'm like, dude, I saw that hat one time, and funny enough, I got the inspiration for the hat to find it when we were playing the Minnesota Vikings back in 2022. I saw Mike Zimmer wearing a similar hat for the Vikings, and I'm like, if I can find a hat like that for the Lions, I'm buying it. And as soon as I found it, I was like, buying it, not even going to think twice about it. So that's my other favorite hat, and then obviously my third favorite hat is the black grit hat that got started, and those 3 hats I wear all the time. I love those hats. Lions fan since 1965 says, Lions fan in Fort Morgan, Colorado. Good morning, Mr. Pike and fellow fans. Let's go Lions. Absolutely. And absolutely excited about the fact that, this is the last preseason game. It's not going to be too much longer before we actually get into the regular season. Let's see here. Wolfman Zach says, interested in special teams today. Who's doing kick returns? If I had to take a guess, chances are they're going to start Grant Stewart. They're wanting to see if he can obviously help them in that department as being another guy that they can rotate in with Khalif Raymond. Because there have been times where he's looked good, and there have been times where it's like, okay, obviously you need some more work. Obviously you need to absolutely, get more practice at that. Independent Aquaman says, not Amazon, so the eSite. Forgot that site name, or did you see it in person? If I recall correctly, I bought it on Fanatics when I bought it. And again, this was back 3 or 4 years ago, so the hat's no longer available. The only way you're going to find that hat is if you find it on eBay or some like secondhand selling site, because you would have had to have bought the hat at the time, and then somebody would be willing to part with it later. Dre Day says, who am I looking forward to see today? I'm going to be honest. It comes down to pretty much the same guys I've been excited to watch ever since we started. The battle between Hendon Hooker and obviously Kyle Allen, because I'm telling you this right now, if Hendon Hooker bombs yet again today, that's it. He's done. He is absolutely done. Isaac Tesla, I'm wanting to see. I'm wanting to see more of Robert Meeks. Those are the guys that I'm really interested in seeing on offense. Defensively, I'm wondering if we're going to see some more of Tyleik Williams. Obviously, more of Rock Ya-Sin, guys like that. Duke of Games 50 says to Nick, he didn't need surgery, so maybe not the entire season, hopefully. Well, here's the thing. According to what Dan Campbell said about Ahmed Hazanin is that he's going to be down for a while. As far as I'm going to say, when typically he says that it's going to be down for a while, you're talking at least a couple of months. Probably at least 2.5 months. Now, as far as I know, no report has come out that says that Ahmed Hazanin is going to need, surgery to repair the issue, which means it's probably just a severe strain, maybe a slight tear, which that's good because it means, okay, obviously surgery is not going to be needed. It's just going to need to be rehabbed aggressively, the whole 9 yards. Bees9 says Texans defense gave Goff a hard time. Not going to be easy for Hendon Hooker. I mean, if you're referring to the game last year, absolutely. But if you take a look at the highlights and you take a look at the reports that came out of yesterday, Jared Goff did just fine. Sure, there were a couple plays that he probably would want back, but he did just fine. Drede says, and why not send Lovett out for kick returns? I think between him and Khalif, we would have a dangerous duo in speed. That is true. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they decide to put him out on kick returns because, again, we've heard Dan Campbell say in the past that the best way to make it onto the roster is that way you have a multi-positional versatility. Braylon Dennis says, boom or bust for Hooker. It's judgment day. Oh, absolutely. It's do or die time for Hooker. It's do or die time. And it's do or die time for a lot of guys, both playing for the Lions and for the Texans. It's do or die time. It's like, listen, if you want to show not only to the team you're playing for, but to other teams, if maybe you can't get onto that roster, you should deserve to maybe get a shot somewhere else. You've got to put something out on tape. Listen, Jason, I agree with you. I don't think Hooker's that good, and it's not necessarily, I don't think he's not talented. I've said this before multiple times. I think Hooker is physically talented. He has the physical talent. The problem is he doesn't have the mechanics and he doesn't have the processing speed to work within an offense like what we have, which unfortunately, our offense is very complex, but at the same time, it's just a step or two above what normal regular offenses in the NFL are running. Because every NFL offense right now is running a basic pro set West Coast offense. And every offense in that sense is based on timing. It's based on chemistry. It's based on precision. Hooker comes from a non-pro offense when he was in college in the spread system. The spread system is not based on precision. It's not based on chemistry. It's not based on timing. It's based upon the wide receivers being spread out as far to the sidelines as possible. So that way you can open up gaps in the zone. So that way the quarterback can throw the ball and it's not needing to be as precise. That's fine, Bees9. You don't have to be impressed with Allen. But the point of the matter is, you can't deny that Allen has done pretty damn good for the Lions. Other than the Hall of Fame game, he's been absolutely lights out. The last 2 games he's played, he's only missed 4 throws. He's thrown 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's been in total command and precision of the offense. It's like, that's what you want out of a backup quarterback. That's what you were expecting, especially out of a veteran. I know people want to get a better option at backup quarterback, but it's like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The backup quarterback position is almost as hard to fill and find a good long-term backup than trying to find a franchise guy. So it's like, listen, is Kyle Allen my first choice? No, he's not. But I'm not at all, you're going to say, yeah, you know what, he's absolutely stunk. Or, you know what, I'm not impressed with him. It's like, hey, for a guy to come in and he's only been in the system for a couple of months comparatively to where Hendon Hooker's been in the system for 3 years practically, and Kyle Allen has come in those couple of months and has shown a better grasp, a better command of that system, that to me is impressive, especially considering the fact that this is such a complex system. I did not see what you said about the Bears last, Nick Burton. I did not. And the broadcast has officially now started, but the game itself has not started. What I mean is they've now actually started broadcasting what's going on with the local television channel in, Michigan, because obviously I'm watching this via NFL Sunday Ticket via the YouTube TV. But until we actually get started, there's not really much that we can do until we actually start the game. It's just, again, more talking, which, seeing as how it is 1 o'clock, or now it's 1:01 or 13:01 as we use in the military, chances are the game is probably going to start here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Again, I put this out there. I do smoke. I do vape. If that is something that troubles you or you have a problem with it, I'm just going to tell you, that's what I do. You don't have to stay in the stream. But I'm not going to change it because the live streams are where I'm more of an adult and more loose about things than I am with my pre-recorded videos. And I'm not going to have somebody tell me, oh, stop doing it. It's like, listen, I've already heard it all. I work in the medical field. I know what it can do. I know what it could do. Not really going to change my perspective. I got to remind myself here, every time I see Benetti and TJ Lang on camera, it's always such a dichotomy in terms of size and height, because obviously TJ Lang, former NFL pro starter, former NFL starting offensive lineman, and Benetti is probably like maybe 5'3", 5'4", and it's just like the size and height difference is just so different. Well, I will say this. The reason why I do it now is because it is a coping mechanism, especially for me, because I've been a geographical bachelor now for almost going on 2 years, and I need something that can take the edge off, especially with all the other stuff I have to deal with as far as with the military. See, I'm not real big on hookahs. I've never been a big hookah guy. Granted, I've never smoked a hookah, but my brother has, and it's like, no thank you. No thank you for me on hookers. I'll stick to the vape or the occasional cigarette. Thank you for the comment, Troy. I enjoy your comments. But at this point, I'm just, again, trying to get through the days. I'm trying to do what I got to do to, get by. And, well, see, here's the thing, Bees. I smoke, but I'm not addicted to smoking. Let me put it that way. I'm the type of guy that I could drop it anytime I wanted to. Because here's the thing. I've had this pack because I keep it in, like one of these, so it's easier to carry and doesn't crush them. I literally have a cigarette maybe once every other day or once every couple of days. I prefer vaping because vaping, regardless of what people want to say, is better for you than smoking, because really all you're doing is you're putting vape juice into your body. You're not putting in the harmful carcinogens that are in cigarettes. Again, I'm not going to try and advertise. I'm not going to try and promote one way or the other when it comes to it. It's like, listen, if you smoke, if you vape, if you drink, that's on you. You're an adult. You can handle the consequences that come with that because you know what the consequences are. I will say this. It has definitely been a very long morning for me already because I've been doing cleaning. I've been doing setup for, obviously, this live stream. I played some Madden 26 this morning, which I will admit, I think this Madden is probably one of the best ones that they've put out in quite a while, not only in terms of graphics, but also in terms of gameplay. But I will say this. The one thing I do not like about this Madden 26, especially when it comes to the Lions, is that they do not do a good job of reflecting what the current salary cap is in regards to reality. Because I don't know who else has played Madden 26, but when it comes time to actually negotiate contract extensions for players, it's like you can't really sign anybody. And it's like, dude, it's like the Lions have the second most available cap space right now. You should be able to sign whoever you want. The problem should be in 2026, so that's when the problem should be. Happy belated birthday, Duke of Games 50. Hope you have a good one, or hope you had a good one, pardon me. I will say this, when it comes to the game today, there are two things that I really, really want to see a lot better out of the Detroit Lions. The first thing I want to see is a continuation of, well, actually three things, pardon me. There are three things I want to see. I want to see a continuation of, lessening turnovers, because the last game we only had one. Or was it? Yeah, we only had one, and that was the Hendon Hooker, fumble or interception, one or the other. I want to continue to see the Lions players getting after the ball. I want to see a turnover. I want to continue to see them knocking the ball out, getting the ball on the ground. And I also want to see, the penalties get cleaned up. Because to me, it's like, hey, I know that these are backup players, and I know that they're not going to be starters, but it's like, listen, you've got to be able to play a clean football game. So lessening turnovers, lessening penalties, and actually generating turnovers. Those are the three things that I want to see when it comes to this game. Is it just me, but are they wearing white pants with their blue uniform tops? Because it doesn't look like they're wearing their silver bottoms. It looks like they're wearing their whites. Is that just me? They're wearing their white bottoms with their blue tops. I could say that. And I think the reason they're wearing their whites is in contrast to the Texans, because the Texans are wearing a white top with a dark bottom. Which, silver is a lighter color, but I guess they decided, hey, you know what? We're going to wear our white bottoms with our blue tops. So it's a weird uniform combination. One I've never seen the Lions wear at home, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. But have you guys also heard that next year the Lions are going to be coming out with a new uniform for against rivalry games? I'm looking forward to that too. But the game is officially away. The kickoff is gone off. And Grant Stewart has an absolutely great kickoff return, almost gets to midfield with it. Absolutely a great way for Grant Stewart to start off with the kickoff return. Right up the middle. Great job by Grant Stewart. That's what the Lions fans want to see right there. That's what the Lions coaches want to see. Do a good job of finding the hole, have great vision, and maintain control of the ball while you're going to the ground. And obviously Campbell's already pumped up, so that's good for him. Lions will start, it looks like, at their own 45. And contrary to what I thought, Kyle Allen is getting the start. So Kyle Allen is starting back-to-back games. Not a good sign for Hendon Hooker. Allen's under center, brings Tom Kennedy in motion, snaps the ball, hands it off to Craig Reynolds, and Craig Reynolds is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe might lose half a yard, if that, but it's going to be a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Lions offense. Lions in the gun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Allen snaps, is going to do a draw play, hands it off to Reynolds, and the Lions are going to probably pick up, it looks like, maybe 3 yards, going to set up a 3rd and 7 coming up. I don't think, Dean, that Vaki is going to see a lot of action because do remember I think it was the Thursday joint practice where everybody was focused on, Graham Glasgow getting injured, which obviously we now know that wasn't all that serious. There was also a report that Vaki got injured. So whether or not he's able to turn that around and come out and play, I don't know. Kyle Allen in the gun again. Going to be 3rd and 7. Got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Got a man on his left hip. Brings Lovett in motion. Allen snaps, looks to throw, takes the drop, steps up. Is going to try and spin away, but there's too much pressure, and down he goes. It's going to be a sack for the Lions. Going to be a quick 3rd and out for the team's offense. Allen was trying to find somebody. Nobody was open, so looked like it was a combination of both good coverage and good pressure on Allen. So Lions' first offensive drive of the day is going to be a quick 3 and out. Lions are going to have to punt the ball away. Jack Fox is back to receive the punt. Lions lost 7 yards on the play for the sack. Jack Fox receives the snap, punts the ball away, and it's a good punt, going to have the receiver, and it's going to get downed at the 1 yard line for the freaking Texans. Or did it go into the end zone? They're going to say it was a touchback. So Jackson Meeks tried to keep it out of the end zone, but was not able to do so. We're going to check the replay here. So even though the ball didn't go in the end zone because Jackson Meeks' body was in the end zone when he touched it, it's called a touchback. So that's why it's called a touchback. Even though the ball didn't go into the end zone because Meeks was and he touched it, it's a touchback. The Texans offense will start at the 20-yard line. Trying to figure out who and I think Davis Mills is the starting quarterback for the day for the Texans. Snaps the ball, hands it off to the running back. It looks like that the running back's going to pick up a yard or 2. It's going to be a 2nd and 8 coming up for the Texans offense. Lions have Rock Ya-Sin at safety right now, so that's going to be something interesting to watch. 2nd and 7 for the Texans offense coming up. Mills in the gun, snaps the ball, looks to throw, checking, throws it, gets it out. It's a completion on the far left hash, and it's going to be a pickup of a 1st down and more with Rock Ya-Sin making the catch. Or is it? No, that's not Davis Mills. Mills wears number 10. This is somebody else entirely. This is a quarterback number 18 that I don't recognize. I think they said his name is Mertz. Yeah, Graham Mertz. That's who TJ Lang is saying. So my apologies. 1st and 10 for the Texans. They're at the 44-yard line of their own. Mertz is under center. It's a strong I formation. Mertz is going to snap the ball, hands it off to the running back. The running back's going to find a hole up the middle, picks up about 3 yards, going to be another 2nd and 7, maybe a 2nd and 6 if they give him forward progression. Nowaski was the one who made the stop for the Lions. And it looks like they're actually going to take back a yard from what I thought. It's actually going to be 2nd and 8 for the Lions defense. Or 2nd and 7. I don't know. They keep changing it. Quarterback under center. Again, another strong I formation. Snaps it, hands it off. And this time the running back, again, doesn't really have anywhere to go. Picks up 1 yard. It's going to be a 3rd and 7, maybe a 3rd and 6, depending upon how they call it. Good job for Nowaski to get the tackle there to limit damage. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Texans offense. 10 minutes on the clock remaining for the first quarter. Quarterback is going to be in the gun. Got a man motioning from left to right. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quarterback snaps, gets the ball, is looking to throw, is going to step up, and he's going to run, and he's got a wide open lane, going to easily pick up a first down for the Texans. Mertz was able to maintain cool and composed and was able to pick up the first down, and there was nobody in the middle to try and make sure that Mertz could not get that first down. Hallett might have a shot. Might, Dean. He might. But again, the competition on this roster this year is just absolutely crazy. Mertz is going to be under center. Got a weak I formation now. Mertz snaps it, hands it off to Pierce, and Pierce is going to bounce a little bit, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards. Going to make it a 2nd and 6 for the Texans. Looks like Pat O'Connor was the one that got the tackle. And O'Connor's coming out for a brief breather. I must be giving the Texans more than what they're being told, because instead of it being 2nd and 6, it's 2nd and 7. But whatever. Mertz is in the gun. Got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left with a man on his right hip. Mertz snaps, hands the ball off on a draw play. And Pierce is going to get all the way down to about 1 yard short of the first down. It's going to be on the 30-yard line for the Lions defense. Yeah, there's no independent Aquaman. There's no way the Eagles are trading Jalen Hurts. Number one, the contract they wouldn't be able to deal with, but also, two, they're not going to trade their franchise quarterback. But I understand what you're saying. Mertz and Hurts sounds really close. 3rd and 1 for the Lions defense. Mertz under center, snaps it, hands it off to Pierce, and it looks like he's going to be short. The sideline judge is going to come out short of the line of gain, and it looks like it's going to be 4th and inches for the Texans offense, and Grant Stewart came in there and was able to stop him. They might bring out the virtual measurement for this one to continue to give it some testing. He is short. The Texans are going to keep their offense out there. Make sure you possibly watch for the team fake. Mertz under center, brings a man in motion tight, hands it off. There is a flag, and Pierce is going to pick up on the first down, but it looks like it's going to be probably a illegal formation. Nope, false start. So that's going to push the Texans back 5 yards. So instead of it being 4th and inches, it's going to be 4th and 5 or 4th and 6. So the Texans are likely now going to pull out the field goal unit and take their 3 points. Yep, going to bring out the field goal unit. Lions defense stands tall, get a little bit of help from the Texans offensive miscue. So they're going to be good. It's going to be a 53-yard field goal attempt for the Texans. Going to be kicked off the left hash mark. The kick is up, and the kick is right down the center. Does it have the distance? It does. Field goal good for Texans. Texans take a 3-0 lead. Good job by the Lions defense to stand tall and to limit that drive to only 3 points. Good job, Lions defense. Anakin, how's it going? Before anybody asks, that was a Tootsie Roll I just ate. I know some people think that they're gross, but I like Tootsie Rolls. Have ever since I was a kid, to be honest. I mean, some people like having long hair. I mean, there's been quite a number of players that have had long hair in the NFL. Troy Polamalu had long hair. I think at one time, I know at one time he did. Chris Bosworth had long hair because he was called the Boz, and that was a specific haircut that he specifically became famous for. I like the flavored ones too, Garrick, but those ones are much harder to find. Sounds good, D. Waiting for the kickoff to go, and it has officially gone. And it looks like looks like it's somebody else that's got their chance for a kickoff return this time, but now a flag comes in late, and it's probably going to be a hold on the Lions, and it's probably going to push them back. Looks like Dominic Lovett was the one to get this kickoff, but it's going to be a hold against the Lions receiving team, which is going to push them back 10 yards. Yeah, Ricky Williams had some long hair too. Black jacket, it'll depend. It'll really depend on how Hooker plays today. It'll also depend on how Allen plays today. JT Bruins, you can watch the game either on YouTube TV through the NFL Sunday Ticket, or you can watch it at NFL Plus. And Allen hands the ball off, and Reynolds is going to pick up about a yard, going to make it a 2nd and 9. Goff was in uniform today. Didn't really do anything, but he was in uniform and he was warming up, so that's interesting. Had pads on, had the whole 9 yards, but is not out there, which glad to see. Allen under center, single back formation, going to be a play action. Allen looks to throw. Allen gets the ball out, checks it down to Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to pick up a first down. Good throw, good catch, good first down. Surprising enough, I know a lot of people have commented about the fact that I do have hair, but back when I was in high school, I actually was kind of rocking a mullet a little bit. Had to lose it when I got into the military, but now that I've gotten older, I don't think I would have it again because I don't like having all that hair. Allen gets the ball, throws, gets it out, gets it to Isaac Tesla, Tom Kennedy, pardon me, and it's going to be a pick of about 5 or 6 yards, going to make it a very manageable 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. Nice quick throw for an out pattern route in the flats. Lions are going to come out in the gun again. They're going to have trips to the right with 2 receivers and a tight end. Allen looks to throw. Allen is going to check it down short to Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to make a move, and Reynolds is going to pick up a first down and a little bit more. Good job by Reynolds there. Allen took the check down, but Reynolds made the play. I've not seen if Stroud has been dressed today, Independent Aquaman, but chances are probably not. Allen snaps, hands it off to Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to find a small hole. Looks like he's going to pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards, depending upon the spot. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Lions offense coming up. Allen's in the gun again, surveying the defense. 2 receivers to the left. Allen snaps, is going to hand it off on another draw play, and this is going to probably be another pickup of 4, maybe 5 yards, depending upon the spot and forward progression, but it's going to make it a very manageable 3rd down for the Lions. 3rd and 2, or maybe a very long 3rd and 1, depending upon the spot. Extra whistles are coming in, and it looks like there's an injury for the Texans. Looks like it's probably an upper body injury or a head injury based upon how they're checking him out. But there is an official timeout for the injured player, and we are going to go to break while the Texans training staff looks over said player. It could be his back, but I doubt it. It's probably closer to a shoulder injury, maybe a concussion. Who knows? It's kind of hard when you're watching the game and you're not on the field. You can only speculate until you see the replay. But my bet is it's probably a head injury of some type. It could be a shoulder injury, something like that, because it doesn't look like it's a leg injury. But it is a Texans player. We'll see what happens. Independent Aquaman, that sounds like Ben Johnson mindset. It's like, dude, just take the easy play and run the ball. Get the easy yardage. That's good to hear, Steve-O. Glad to hear your dad's walking again. Yep, you are correct, Nicholas. Grant Stewart has looked good so far. Can I resist? Ain't looking for nothing but a good time. Sorry, folks. When I hear a good song, I can't help but sing it a little bit. That's the funny thing, Independent Aquaman. I've never seen the Lions do a tush push. But if there's one team that I could definitely see do it, they would. So Lions are going to be in the gun. So it's not going to be 4th and inches or 1. It's going to be 4th and 3. Allen gets the ball out, throws it on a quick slant, and gets it to Isaac Tesla. Easy completion, first down. So, and pardon me, not 4th and 3, it was 3rd and 3. I keep I keep thinking about, Dan Campbell and as far as how we like to, gamble on 4th down. But Lions did a good job there. Good throw from Allen. Good catch by Tesla. Good job. Good conversion on downs to get that next first down. 1st and 10, Allen under center, brings a man in motion, is going to hand the ball off, and there's a good hole there for a brief moment. Lions are going to pick up about 6 yards on the play. Going to be a 2nd and 4 coming up. And it looks like the running back for the Lions, number 48, is a little gimpy getting up, but he got back to the huddle, but he is going to run off the field. I think the Lions just want to make a quick check on him, see he's good. Yeah, it looks like he's got a bit of a stinger or something, but he is limping a little. Allen under center, brings Lovett in motion. Going to snap the ball, hands it off. Going to be a bounce inside and another first down for the Lions. Good job by Craig Reynolds there to find the hole and pick up the first down. Two minutes remaining. Well, 2 1/4 at this point remaining for the Lions in the first quarter. Allen's over there saying, come on, hurry up, get the play in. Looks like the Lions are going to go into a gun look here. Allen in the gun. Got 2 receivers to the right. Allen's going to throw downfield, and he's going to take a shot, and he gets it to Tesla. It's a touchdown! Another touchdown for Kyle Allen to Tesla, and another beautiful rainbow ball. Lions go up. Kyle Allen is just putting on a show with Isaac Tesla. Tesla's going to be something special this year, folks. I've been saying it all offseason. Great job by Tesla to go up, use his hands to get that, and great throw by Kyle Allen. Absolutely perfect perfection there. Great job by Tesla. Again, catching with the hands. Catching with the hands. And then I love the worm afterwards. Absolutely great job on the worm dance by Isaac Tesla. That was perfect. Lions special teams are going to come out there to kick the field goal. They're doing it off the left hash. Kick is up. Kick is barely good, but it is good. Jake Bates was flirting with that right crossbar there for a little bit, but it does go through. Lions score 7-3. Great throw by Kyle Allen. Great ball placement. Great catch with the hands by Isaac Tesla, and great worm dance. Just great all around. Kyle Allen is... I'm sorry, at this point, Kyle Allen is QB number 2. And Jahmyr Gibbs is just absolutely freaking loving it. He is just going off on the sidelines. That's now the 3rd straight game that Kyle Allen has thrown touchdown passes to Isaac Tesla. 3rd straight. At this point, I would be surprised if Isaac Tesla does not get some sort of, first team reps when the season starts. I mean, he has proven in his ability to block. He's proven in his ability to run. He's proven in his ability to catch that he deserves to be out there with the starters. Lions offense is definitely showing what it can do. And they're doing it with their backups. Not the starters like Caleb Williams and the Bears. I don't know if he's wide receiver 3 yet, Dean DeGreer, but it's like, dude, let's think about this. Honestly, think about this. The Lions have 3 wide receiver 3s. Think about that. They have 3 of them because they've got Tim Patrick, they've got Khalif Raymond, and they've got Isaac Tesla. So it's like, dude, any one of those guys can instantly be plugged in to be wide receiver 2 or 1 if necessary. I mean, based upon Meeks' size, I could see why you'd say that. I mean, do I think Tesla's better than Tim Patrick? I think he is. I think he's shown more this offseason. I think he's shown more this training camp than Tim Patrick. Even Tim Patrick has not been pleased with his own performance. But, I mean, it depends on what the Lions front office and coaching staff wants to do. And Tesla is now out there with the kickoff team as a gunner. Well, do remember, Danny, Isaac Tesla, he ran a 4.4 at the combine, so he's fast for his size. Kickoff is away, and there's a break in coverage, and this is going to be a good return for the Texans, and they're going to get near midfield as outside containment was lapsed there. That's the type of throw you're not going to see from Hendon Hooker. The ball placement over the shoulder, exactly only where his receiver can get it, and Isaac Tesla does the rest. Great job by Isaac Tesla. And great job by Kyle Allen. All right. Mertz is in the gun for the Texans. They're going to be exactly at midfield. 1st and 10 for the Texans. Mertz gets the ball, looks to throw, gets it out quick, and it's going to be a first down completion. The tight end is the one that got the catch, Jaden Higgins. First down for the Texans. Well, think about it this way, Bees. I would love to keep both of them, and I think the Lions will. Because think about it. You've got a speed demon in J-Mo. You've got 2 big receivers in Tim Patrick, and you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's your all-around guy. It's like, dude, that's a crazy freaking wide receiver group right there. Crazy wide receiver group. Mertz under center is going to do a pitch out to Pierce, and it's going to be stopped for a yard, maybe 2. Looks like 2 yards. Zach Cunningham came up and got the tackle. Good job by Cunningham there. Well, again, Black Jacket, I know a lot of Lions fans want to see Zadarius Smith back. I want to see him back. But it's going to depend on when the Lions decide to sign him back. 2nd and 8 for the Texans offense. Mertz under center. Snap, going to be play action. Mertz is going to look to throw. Can't find anybody. Starts rolling to the left. And he is going to pick up a first down as he dives for it and is going to pick up that first down. And that should end the first quarter there with the Lions up 7-3 as time is going to continue to elapse. So teams are going to flip fields, and that's going to bring us into the second quarter for the Texans and for the Lions. Lions up 7-3 going into the second quarter. And we're back to commercial break. Is it just me, but do I hate commercials when it comes to freaking football? Like, the only game where commercials are actually decent for football, and hasn't really been that way, in my opinion, for a couple of years, is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the only time where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm actually kind of interested how these commercials are going to be, because it's like, dude, when you got to spend $1 million, $2 million for 30 seconds of airtime during the Super Bowl, it's like you got to put out a pretty damn good commercial. Platonic, we're going to re-sign J-Mo. It's going to happen. I'm going to say this right now. I do not know what Lions fans' particular viewpoint is on why they keep thinking that we're not going to re-sign J-Mo. We're going to re-sign J-Mo. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to re-sign Hutch. We're going to re-sign J-Mo. It's going to happen. J-Mo's been absolutely lighting up in camp, and I have no doubt he's going to light it up when the regular season starts. The last 2 games under Kyle Allen with the backups gives me every confidence that the Lions' first-team offense is going to do absolutely well. Well, the Vikings can want J-Mo all they want. They ain't going to get him. Laporta and Branch, you don't have to worry about for another year. Not going to have to worry about Laporta and Branch for another year. And again, by that time, the Lions will have plenty of money because I'm telling you this, what's going to happen is they're going to restructure Goff's contract to free up cap space, and that's going to take care of that problem. I've told people this multiple times. What's going to happen is sometime this year, sometime late this year, the Lions are going to restructure Goff's contract. They're going to free up about $40-50 million worth of cap space, and that's what they're going to use to sign all the remaining players. This year, the primary objectives are to re-sign JMO and re-sign Hutchinson. After that, it's then, okay, you get Gibbs, you get Branch, you get Laporta. And then at that point, then it's like, hey, you know what? Now we're back to normal. That's why everybody right now is all concerned about the whole situation, because it's like, oh, yeah, we got all these guys to re-sign in quick succession. Well, once you take care of, the contract situation with Hutchinson and JMO and you restructure Goff, you're going to have the cap space. Mertz is in the gun. Texans are at the 27-yard line, start of the second quarter. Mertz looks to throw, gets out a quick throw, and it's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards for the Texans, maybe 5. Mertz snaps in the gun, is going to do a draw play to Pierce, and Stewart is going to absolutely stop him. And Mertz did not like Stewart's tackle of his running back Pierce, gave him a little bit of a jawing at the end of it, and that's going to end that play, and it's going to be a third down coming up for the Texans. Jack Campbell's contract's the same year that we're going to have to deal with probably Branch and Laporta, because they all came out of the same draft class, which was 2023, which, if you think about it, we don't have to sign them until 2026 at the very earliest. Mertz is going to get the throw out on a gun play, and it's going to be a first down for the Texans. I'm just gonna sum up the whole situation with the contract stuff with this. I trust Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, Mike Disner, and that front office, they have always been able to get contracts done. They may not get it done exactly when Lions fans want it done, but they always get it done, and they always work out the cap space. They always do. Mertz is going to be under center. Tight end is going to be in motion from left to right. 2 receivers on the left, single back formation. Mertz snaps the ball, play action, looks to throw, is going to step up, going to dump it off to Pierce underneath. And Mertz is going to get about a 5-yard completion to Pierce. It's going to be 2nd and 5 coming up. Mertz under center. Got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Brings the tight end close. Going to be a handoff. And Pierce is going to walk in for a touchdown. Touchdown for the Texans. And Texans now go up 9-7, possibly 10-7 with the addition of the extra point coming up. I think Lions players are trying to grow out their hair this year. Texans are lining up for the extra point. Snap. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. Texans up 10-7 over the Lions with 12:22 remaining in the second quarter. Lions about to receive the kickoff, so that way their offense can come out and continue to do what they do. Anyway, How's everybody doing? Hopefully well. I don't think we're going to see Dean. I don't think we're going to see Hooker until probably the second half because, again, the way that the Lions have always set it up is that one quarterback's going to play one half, the other quarterback's going to play another half. So unless Kyle Allen completely falls apart over the next 12 minutes, I don't think we're going to see Hooker until after halftime. Independent Aquaman. I mean, Independent, you can reference this. Did I or did I not say that the Lions could have the chance because of their receiving group, because of Goff, because of Johnny Morton and the whole rest of the lot? Did I or did I not say that this Lions offense could not only break personal franchise records, but did I also not say that they could break NFL records because of how powerful this offense is? And again, I've been working on something that I'm probably going to release on Monday that's going to show yet again why I think the Lions offense is just that damn good. And it's like, listen, we've seen over the last 2-3 games how this backup offense has been absolutely just been, great with Kyle Allen. And Jared Goff is 1,000 times better than Kyle Allen. So if Kyle Allen can do it with backups, I have no reason to doubt that when the starters get out there, they're going to absolutely, shred people. No doubt in my mind. Hey, we got a Michigan State guy in the booth for the Lions, Jay Bate. Vice President and Director of Athletics for Michigan State has joined the booth with TJ Lang, and he's talking right now with those two guys. Texans are about to kick the ball off. Don't know if Stewart or if Lovett's going to get it on this particular one, but we'll see who gets it. Kickoff is away, and it looks like it's going to be somebody. Good hit at the end of that there. Texans stopped the Lions at around the 26-yard line. Lions are going to start at the 27 or 28-yard line, it looks like. So they gave him some forward progression. And actually, Hooker is in. Hooker is in at quarterback, is going to throw it underneath to the receiver, which is the running back, and going to be a pickup of a first down. So looks like you were right, Dean. Hooker's now in. So I guess the Lions saw all they wanted to see out of Allen, liked what they saw, thought it was good. So now they're going to give Hooker the remainder of time to potentially try and show something. Hooker is going to be under center, going to be a weak eye formation. Hooker snaps the ball, hands it off to the running back. Running back's going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be a 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 6, depending upon where they spot it. Well, I'm going to say this, Joel. At this point, the only thing that Hendon Hooker can do is just put out there enough on tape to justify keeping him on the roster. That's about it. Because he's not going to outplay Kyle Allen. Not going to happen. So the only thing Hooker can do is just try and do enough to stay on the roster. Hooker snaps it, is going to hand it off to the running back. Running back's going to pick up about another 3 yards, maybe 2.5. So it's going to make it a short 3rd down for the Lions offense, depending upon, again, the spot. Going to be either a 3rd and 3, maybe a long 3rd and 3, or a short 3rd and 4, depending upon the spot. Hooker is messing with his towel, apparently. Hooker in the gun. Lions have 3 receivers out to the right with 1 to the left. Hooker snaps, looks to throw, is going to throw up a rainbow ball and just puts it out too far for the receiver to get. Good coverage on the receiver, and the Lions are going to go 3 and out. Actually, no, not 3 and out because they already got a first down, but they are going to punt the ball away. 4th and 4 coming up. Lions are going to punt the ball away, and out there is Jack Fox. This would be a prime time for Dan Campbell to try and do something funny, try and pull off a fake. He's got Grant Stewart and Craig Reynolds back there, so we'll see. But they are not going to fake it. They're going to punt the ball away. Jack Fox gets a boomer away, and the coverage is way too good, so the receiver is going to do a fair catch down near the 10-yard line where the Texans offense is going to set up shop. Mm-hmm. There have been times he has played with Tesla Bees. There have been times, but he's just not been able to do anything with him. Because think about this. Hendon Hooker started in week 2 against the Falcons. And he also, wait a minute. Yeah, he started in week 2 against the Falcons. And during that period of time, he was not able to do anything with Tesla. Every single one of Tesla's passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns that he's gotten has come from Kyle Allen. That right there ought to be a really big also indicator, because it's like, listen, Kyle Allen's the one that's gotten Tesla all of his passing touchdowns and all of his receiving touchdowns. Every single one of them. And again, all Hendon Hooker has done while he's been out there, whether it's been with the second team, whether it's been with the second team offense or the third team offense, it has always just been turnovers, whether it's fumbles, whether it's interceptions. So the fact that, the Lions have put him out there with plenty of time in the second quarter, he's going to have more opportunities to potentially throw to Tesla and, possibly increase his, value. But again, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. All right, Texans offense is back out there. They will start at their 11-yard line, 1st and 10. Lions are going to blitz, hand off to Pierce, or hand off to Marks, pardon me. Going to be a pickup of about 2 or 3 yards. Going to make it a 2nd and 7. Trevor Nowaski made the tackle there. Nowaski has green dot responsibilities right now. It's calling the defensive play to the players. Mertz in at quarterback still. In the gun, brings a man in motion. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Mertz is looking to throws it underneath on a check down, and it is going to be a first down for the Texans. Mertz under center, weak eye formation. Mertz is going to do a play-action boot, going to get it to the running back, and the running back is going to pick up about 9 yards. Actually, that's the fullback, not the running back. It's going to be a 2nd and 1 for the Texans. I think part of that, Bees, is that the Lions are like, listen, you've got to show that you deserve to work with the second teamers. And I think the fact that, maybe he's not gotten as much time is probably yet another indication of where the Lions think about him. Mertz for the Texans is in the gun, is going to snap it. Going to be a bit of a high snap, and it's going to set things off a little bit, but the Texans are going to pick up a first down. There's 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Texans driving. First and 10 for the Texans. Mertz under center again. Going to have 2 receivers and a tight end to the left with a single back look. Mertz is going to do a play action, looks to throw, throws downfield, and is going to get it to his man. Is going to be a completion near midfield for the Texans. First down. No, Steve. Goff has not taken any snaps. Not going to happen. Lions are not playing their starters. Lions have not played any of their starters. They don't need to play their starters. The only starters that realistically the Lions have played has been Tate Ratledge and Tyleik Williams, and I think they only did that sparingly between game 2 and 3. Mertz under center, straight drop back, looks to throw, is going to throw it up, and the receiver lost track of the ball, but the ball was also a little bit behind and outside. Incomplete pass. Second down for the Texans. Again, Joel, preseason is all about player evaluation. That's all that preseason is. It's player evaluation. There's no reason to play it seriously in the preseason. Mertz pitches out. And it is going to be a TFL. Good tackle right there by, who was that? It was one of the linebackers that was able to make that TFL. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Texans offense. But to answer your question, Dean, I don't think that the Lions have put Rock Ya-Sin and split time with Amik Robertson, because right now, I believe when I saw the starting lineups on defense, Rock Ya-Sin is actually in its safety. And the Lions did say they wanted to get Rock Ya-Sin time at safety for more versatility. 3rd and 11 for the Lions defense. Texans are at midfield. Mertz snaps it in the gun. Is going to look to throw. Is going to get it downfield. And wide open is the receiver. Got it right past the defensive back. Don't know who was in coverage there, but that guy that was in coverage completely misread that. That was actually Rock Ya-Sin that he got it by, who then made the tackle. But that quarterback had a lot of time, so the pressure there was not good on Mertz. 1st and 10 for Mertz in the Texans offense. Man in motion, Mertz snaps, hands it off to the running back. Running back's going to bounce it outside, going to find a crease, and is going to pick up another first down for the Texans. Texans offense is definitely finding a groove. Lions defense needs to pick it up a little bit here. Texans offense is just outside the 5-yard line. Less than 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Mertz under center, snaps, looks to throw, gets it out quick on a fade route, and it's too high, incomplete. 2nd and goal for the Texans offense coming up. And the target was actually to Quintez Cephas, our former wide receiver, if I'm understanding correctly, because I did hear Cephas, and The only wide receiver I know of that has that last name is our former wide receiver, Quintez Cephas. And I do believe that Quintez Cephas did sign with the Texans after being out of football because of the gambling. Texans are again on the 6 or 7 yard line. Mertz is in the gun. Deuce receivers to both left and right. Mertz gets it out quickly. And this time it is caught by Quintez Cephas, and it is a touchdown for the Texans. So Quintez Cephas getting a little bit of revenge there by getting a touchdown in the former field that he used to call home. Good coverage there by the Lions cornerback, but good job by Cephas to secure the ball and come down with it. But the Texans have now opened up a 2-score lead over the Detroit Lions. So the Lions are definitely going to have to do something to try and bring this game back into a closer spread, which means more pressure is going to be put on Hooker to try and perform. Texans are going to line up for the extra point attempt. Snap is away, kick is up, and the kick is blocked. The kick has been blocked. Fairbanks' kick, extra point, has been blocked, so the Lions block the kick, and it is going to remain a 9-point spread instead of a 10-point spread. Who got the block there? Oh, it was not blocked. Fairburn completely missed it. He missed it. He whiffed. I thought that was a block. No, that was a whiff. That was a miss by the kicker, which I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I have ever seen a kicker that has missed the kick because he just missed the ball. That's a first for me. I've never seen a kicker just absolutely whiff on the kick. That I've just never seen that before. That was a complete shock right there. I thought it was I thought that was a block by the Lions. No, that was a whiff by Fairburn by the Texans. How can I resist? Ain't looking for nothing but a good time, and it don't get better than this. Oh boy. Well, instead of the Lions being down 17-7, they're only down now 16-7. We will see what the Lions offense can do with the remaining bit of time that is left in the first half. We'll see if Hooker can do anything with the offense. I'll say this. When I was playing football in high school, I never whiffed on a play, but I do remember one time I went into the end zone when I caught a touchdown pass because I was playing tight end at the time, and I went in to celebrate, and the ground was slippery, so I fell flat on my ass because my feet literally just came out underneath me. Well, if you guys want, I'll do some singing when the halftime period comes up because we're going to have a 15-minute halftime period where there's really nothing going on, so I'll sing you guys a couple of songs then. Oh, no. It was funny back then, immediately after it happened, but when it happened to me, I was not laughing. I was definitely not laughing. I was like, damn it, I scored a touchdown, and rather than being able to do anything with it, I looked like a complete fool. But I was like, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. I scored a touchdown, so that's what truly matters, not the celebration at the end. Though one time when I was playing, when I also scored a touchdown as a receiver, one guy on the opposing defense tried to go after my knees after I'd scored, and that kind of peeved me off because I'm like, oh, really? You guys are going to try and injure me, eh? Hey, Knuckles graduated from Iowa State with his degree. Congratulations. Well, unfortunately, Bees, I don't know how to play a musical instrument. The only musical instrument I ever played growing up was the freaking recorder. Hooker snaps it. It's going to be a handoff, and the running back is going to try to bounce it outside, then tries to go back inside, bounces it outside, and is able to pick up about 3 yards, maybe 2, depending upon the spot. But Sailors was able to get something out of nothing there. But again, good job by Demo there to get his degree from Iowa State. That's always good. Having a degree is always something you should strive for if you go to college. Excuse me. Lions offense under center. Hooker there is going to bring a man in motion, snaps it, hands the ball off again, and it looks like Sailors is going to pick up about another 4 or 5 yards, going to make it a 3rd and 2 for the Lions offense. Dean, I got my degree from a small college in Michigan called Adrian College, and my degree is in history with a political science minor, which is very odd considering my current occupation in the military. I'm a lab technician, which history has absolutely not a damn thing to do with. But I've been doing it for 8+ years, and I'm just going to say I'm pretty damn good at my job. Lions come out and have two tight ends to the left and bring them all to the right, bring a man in motion, and there's a penalty marker now down. The Lions running back Sailors was not able to get to the line of gain, and it's probably going to be against the Lions for either illegal formation or false start or something. Illegal shift. Penalty is going to be declined, and it looks like the Lions are going to keep their offense out there, and they're actually going to go for it. Yeah, the Lions are going for it on 4th down. On 4th and 1, they're going to go for it. Hooker's going to be under center. And there's another false start. Hogan Hatton just literally jumped and made it way too abundantly obvious, so the Lions are now going to have to punt the ball away. Bad situational awareness there by Hogan Hatton. Went from a 4th and 1 and absolutely just screwed the pooch there. So we get an illegal shift and then a false start. So those penalties already are starting to come back to bite the Lions in the butt. Not good at all. And Fox gets the snap, punts the ball away, and this is going to be it's going to be received, at about the 27-yard line, and the Texans are going to set up shop at the 30-yard line, and with 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half, the Texans have got the ball again and could potentially extend their lead to a 3-score lead before halftime. Which, if I recall correctly, the Lions got the ball to start the game, which means the Texans will also receive the ball and start the second half, which is not good for the Lions. Well, Dean, I'm going to say this. I would like to think they won't have those issues, but again, I'm never going to say never. Not when it comes to penalties, because penalties happen no matter what. You can have the most disciplined group, and it just happens. It's something you wish wouldn't happen, but it does. The answer, B's, was Hogan Hatton, one of the backup tight ends. One of the guys that's trying to make it on the roster. That is true, Dean. You at least hope not to this degree, but still it does happen. Anyway, just waiting for the game to get back going again. We're currently seeing a commercial for GCU University, Grand Canyon University. Texans are out there. They have the ball. They're on their 31-yard line. Mertz is going to snap it, does a quick bubble throw out to Powell, and Powell is going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards, going to make it a 2nd and 5 for the Texans offense. Clock is continuing to run. Texans might get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. Might is the word. Looks like the Texans are going to hold off on calling another play before the 2-minute warning. So we're going to go to the 2-minute warning, and we're going to resume play after 2-minute warning here. So literally we go to commercial break, we get one play, and then we go right back to commercial break. Braylon, I think a lot of us are kind of done with, Hendon Hooker, but the Lions want to see if he can do anything, if he can show them something other than what he's been showing them. And as I said earlier, if you guys are watching and you guys are not subscribed, I hope to gain your subscription. Make sure you also turn on that bell notification icon. And at the same time, donations are also accepted and very appreciated. So hope y'all are enjoying the stream. Hope y'all are having a good weekend, as this game is almost halfway over. All right, back to the broadcast. Texans up 16-7, 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter before halftime. Texans have the ball, 2nd and 5. Mertz is going to be in the gun. And going to be 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Got another tight end also to the left. Mertz drops back, looks to throw, gets it out, and it is caught by Powell. It's going to be at the 45-yard line. Appreciate the donation, Independent Aquaman. And also thank you for the comment. I do appreciate it. I try my best to give the best content that I possibly can. Mertz is going to be in the gun. Got two receivers to the right, one to the left with a tight end to the right. Got a man on his left hip. Mertz snaps, looks to throw. Is going to throw it underneath to the running back. And it's going to be another pickup of 7 yards. Going to be a 2nd and 3 for the Texans offense. Completion was to running back Marks. Right now, there is about 1 minute left in the game. Mertz is in the gun. Mertz snaps, and there is a flag, and it looks like, yep, they're going to call a false start penalty against the Texans. 5-yard penalty going to push the Texans back to second and 8. Penalty is against Texans player offensive lineman number 65, Cox. So 55 seconds left. Texans have the ball. 2nd and 8 upcoming. So with the penalty, it's going to be a 10-second runoff. So instead of 55 seconds, it's going to be 45 seconds. Honestly, Thomas, no, I don't think he does. Pretty much all preseason, Hooker has not shown anything. Like I said, I would be surprised, shocked if it came out that he were to win the number 2 QB job because he's just not shown anything. Mertz in the gun. Mertz snaps. And there's another stoppage in play. Another flag has come in, and it's another false start penalty against the Texans. So now it's going to go from 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 8 to now it's going to be 2nd and 13. Lions home crowd is definitely making it difficult on the Texans to get their poop in a group. So another 2 seconds has been ran off, and it is now 2nd and 13 after being 2nd and 3 with back-to-back false start penalties. So the clock is being reset to 45 seconds instead of being set at 42. Penalties always drive coaches absolutely crazy, but when you have back-to-back penalties like that, false start, that is just a lack of concentration. Second and 13 for the Texans. Mertz in the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Mertz snaps, is going to do a draw play, and the running back is going to pick up about 2 yards, but there is another flag, and it's going to be against the Texans again. So 3 consecutive plays for penalties, and they're going to be most likely again against the Texans. But they're saying it's in the Lions secondary, so it actually could be against the Lions. And the refs are conferencing with the Texans head coach, DeMeco Ryans, so chances are it is against the Lions. Whether or not it's a personal foul and it's going to be an instant first down. Trying to figure out what's going on here. So there is no penalty on the play. Texans call the timeout. So going to reset the down on 2nd and 13. And DeMeco Ryans is definitely frustrated right now. Can definitely tell he's not happy about how things have been going for the last couple of plays because he's definitely talking to that headset. Game clock is now being reset to 42 seconds. Down is again going to be 2nd and 13 because actually it's going to be 3rd down. So they did count the down, but they're not going to include the penalty. So 3rd and 11 for the Texans offense. Mertz is in the gun, snaps, looks to throw, gets a little pressure, rolls out right, and is going to throw it. And Stewart gets the tackle, but again, there is a foul. There is another penalty, so that's the 4th straight play that there's been a penalty marker on the field. The 3rd one was picked up. So it's going to be the penalties against the Detroit Lions for defensive holding in the secondary against number 38. So it's going to be an automatic first down for the Texans. So with 37 seconds left, the Texans are 1st and 10 at the 49.5-yard line on the Lions side. Mertz snaps, looks to throw, throws it underneath, and it was tight coverage, but it was caught. And there's going to be another timeout by the Texans. That's going to be their 3rd and final timeout. So I'm going to say this. These last 2 minutes have gone on forever. Between the penalties, between the timeouts, between the clock going back and forth, between 45 seconds, 40 seconds, 42 seconds. This has been the longest 2 minutes I've ever been a part of. It's I understand you guys are trying to score, but damn, can we just get the game underway so that way we can get to the halftime period? Dean, no, we do not. We do not play the Texans at any point during this season. We play the AFC North, and I think we play the NFC East, but not the South. Mertz gets the ball out, throws it, and it is going to be incomplete, but another penalty marker is going to come out, and it's going to be a penalty against Avonte Maddox. It's probably going to be defensive pass interference. Yep. No, it's against the offense. It's an offensive pass interference. I thought it was going to be defensive pass interference, but they're calling it against the offense. It's going to be offensive pass interference against wide receiver number 11, Powell. So Maddox did not get called for it. I thought for a second it was going to be on Maddox, but no, it's against Powell. So that is going to be an interesting break for the Lions because it's going to push the Texans back out of field goal range. So now 2nd and 14, Mertz in the gun, snaps, looks to throw, gets pressure, and he's going to get sacked. So finally, the Lions pass rush gets home and gets a sack. And Al-Quadin Muhammad gets the sack for the Lions. Or could it be a split sack between Muhammad and Lynn? I don't know. It could be one or the other, but that's going to end the half. So we are officially now at halftime. The Lions defense stands tall, holds the Texans offense to not scoring any points before going into the half. So good job by the Lions defense to holding them off. That'll give the Lions a chance to potentially come back in the second half and maybe find a way to salvage this game. So good job by the Lions defense to apply pressure. Good job by getting the sack, pushing them out of field goal range. Good job. Wolfman, that's funny. Break out the recorder. I don't have a recorder. I haven't played the recorder since I was in, was it elementary school or middle school? It was one or the other when I last touched that musical instrument. But we now have a 15-minute break as halftime is officially underway, which means the game will probably resume at 2:45. And during that time frame, like I said, I will serenade y'all with a couple of songs. First song I'm going to do is a song by the King of Country, and I know that is debatable by some people. Some people might say it's Johnny Cash, others might say it's Merle Haggard, but can't deny that George Strait has got all of the hits. So I'm going to start off with that, and then we'll go from there. It's a song I've been listening to quite a bit over the last couple of days, almost on repeat, except for a couple of breaks or interludes in between, this, that, or the other. Every day is a lifetime without you. Hard to get through since you've gone. So I do the only thing I know how to get by. I'm living for the night. I've drawn all the curtains in this old house to keep the sun out and off of my face. Friends stop by to check in 'cause I've checked out. I tell them I'm fine. I'm just living for the night. Daylight can't hide the tears I cry, the pain that came with your goodbye, the memories that keep me out of sight. Every night I venture out into those neon arms, they hold me tight. I'm living for the night. Funny thing is I literally found this song literally a couple of days ago, and ever since I did, I've been listening to it on repeat. I'm a whole lot easier to talk to when I've had a few. I settle down. Whiskey kills the man you've turned me into, and I come alive. I'm living for the night. Daylight can't hide the tears I cry, the pain that came from your goodbye, the memories that keep me out of sight. Every night I venture out into those neon arms, they hold me tight. I'm living for the night. I'm living for the night. Every day is a lifetime without you. One of my favorites as of late. Really is. Now, I will change gears to another singer that I like listening to quite a bit. Another country singer. Just got to find the song I'm looking for because I literally have them all over the place. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. She's gonna hear me everywhere she goes. I'll get revenge the only way I know. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. Take these pieces of this broken heart. I'll watch them climb the country music charts. She's gonna pay me back in royalties for bringing me down to my knees. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. She's gonna hear me everywhere she goes. I'll get revenge the only way I know. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. Well, to be fair, Braylon Dennis, I have sang before, but I do understand that comment about GTA 6 because everybody's been waiting for GTA 6 for a hell of a long time. Kind of like everybody's been waiting for Red Dead Redemption 3 to come out for a while. I would love to see that one. Gonna tell the way she done me wrong. Make $1 million while she sings along. She thinks she's heard the last of my love song, but she won't feel that way for long. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. She's gonna hear me everywhere she goes. I'll be hurting down inside, I know. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. I'm gonna get to her in stereo. I'll get revenge the only way I know. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. She's gonna hear me everywhere she goes. I'll get revenge the only way I know. I'm gonna hurt her on the radio. All right, let's see here. I got another one for y'all. I've sang this one before, but I always like it because of the connection that it has to me as a soldier. Another country song. I was just out of the service, thumbing through the classifieds, when an ad that said old Chevy somehow caught my eye. The lady didn't know the year or even if it ran, but I had that $1,000 in my hand. It was way back in the corner of this old ramshackle barn, with 30 years of dust and dirt on that green army tarp. And when I pulled the cover off, it took away my breath, for what she called a Chevy was a '66 Corvette. And I felt a little guilty as I counted out the bills, but what a thrill I got when I sat behind the wheel. I opened up the glove box and that's when I found a note. The date was 1966 and this is what it wrote. It was, my name is Private Andrew Malone, and if you're reading this, then I didn't make it home. But for every dream that's shattered, another one comes true. This car was once a dream of mine, it belongs to you. And though you may take her and make her your own, you'll always be riding with Private Malone. Well, it didn't take me long at all, I had her running good. I love to hear those horses thunder underneath her hood. I had her shining like a diamond as I put the rev top down. All the pretty girls would stop and stare as I drove her through town. The buttons on the radio never seemed to work quite right, but it picked up that oldie show, especially late at night. I'd get the feeling sometimes if I turned real quick I'd see a A soldier riding shotgun in the seat right next to me. It was a young man named Private Andrew Malone who fought for his country and he never made it home. But for every dream that's shattered, another one comes true. This car was once a dream of his back when it was new. But he told me to take her and make her my own. And I was proud to be riding with Private Malone. Well, one night it was raining hard. I took the curve too fast. I still don't remember much about that fiery crash. But someone said they thought they saw a soldier pull me out. They didn't get his name, but I know without a doubt it was a young man named Private Andrew Malone who fought for his country and he never made it home. But for every dream that's shattered, another one comes true. This car was once a dream of his back when it was new. And I know I wouldn't be here if he hadn't tagged along. Yeah, that night I was riding with Private Malone. Oh, thank God I was riding with Private Malone. Private Malone. And to answer your question, Gordon, I don't know if Broderick Martin is going to make the 53-man roster. He's one of those guys that's currently on the roster bubble and probably one of those guys that we've heard from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell that they say are probably going to have to make a tough decision on. That's just me personally talking. Let me see here. What's another one I could do? Here's a good one. Probably one of the most overlooked country artists that I've ever heard, but guy has a great voice. Hopefully I do it justice. Trying my best to keep you guys entertained during the halftime period. I can remember us cruising through town in your daddy's car with the top pulled down, looking so cool. We came from different sides of the track, but we still held hands out back of the old school. We spent all our time together, laughing and having fun. We swore that we'd love forever, 'cause that was the way things were done at the old school. Well, I'm going to have to cut my serenading short because apparently the kickoff just happened, so I'll probably come back at the halftime at the end of the game, and we'll go from there. But it looks like the first down play was incomplete, and that was because Nate Lynn was doing some, doing some pass rush on quarterback Mertz. I don't know if I'll do the Taliban song, Tristan, but I do think I'll do a Toby Keith song. I do believe I will do one once we get to once we get to the end of the game. Blame it all on my roots. Like I said, I'm trying to find ways to, not only fill the time, but also have some fun with the show, folks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys didn't think me too forward. But currently, it is 3rd and 1 for the Texans offense. 30 seconds into the start of the second half. Kind of surprised that the halftime period was only 10 minutes. Usually it's 15. Maybe it's because it's preseason. I don't know. So instead of it being a 3rd and 1, they're actually going to give the Texans the first down there. Mertz is in the gun. Got a receiver to the right and the left with tight ends. Snaps the ball, is going to hand the ball off, and the running back is going to pick up about 8 yards there. All right, 2nd and 1 coming up for the Detroit Lions defense. Mertz under center, going to have a tight end to the right off the line with 2 receivers on, one to the left and one to the right. The one on the left is coming in, going to come in close on the right side now, is going to stack over the tight end, snaps the ball, and it is going to be a first down for the Texans. Barely got it, but got it, so 1st and 10 for the Texans. I don't know if I'd call myself a Morgan Wallen Jr., Robert. I think I'd like to think I sing pretty good, but I don't know if I got a professional career ahead of me. That'd be an interesting coincidence, though, if I could do that, because Johnny Cash did that, but I don't know if I could do that. Mertz under center, strong I formation. And there's going to be another penalty against the Texans for a false start. So it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Texans. Well, I can't speak anything to Mertz. I was actually kind of surprised because I thought that they were going to give Davis Mills a start, but either way. But now we get to hear from Chris Spielman, the special assistant to the chairman and CEO, so definitely need to listen to this. Mertz back to throw, gets a quick throw out on a slant pattern. It's going to be a pickup of about 12 yards. Going to be a 2nd and 3 for the Texans. Mertz in the gun for the Texans, 2nd and 4, not 3, pardon me. Wide receiver from the right is in motion to the left. Mertz snaps the ball, hands it off to the running back, and the running back's going to pick up about a yard. Going to make it a 3rd and 3. Is it Mertz or Slavis? It looked like Mertz. I could be wrong. I always admit I can be wrong. I am not, what's the word? I am not impervious to being wrong. And it looks like there's a Lions player that's hurt, and it is lineman Turner, and he is grabbing his right ankle. Whenever you're dealing with an ankle injury, it looks like he's doing a motion like this, so it's probable that he got rolled up on. So we're going to take a commercial break for the Lions injured player, which is, I think, defensive lineman, also edge rusher Ezekiel Turner, if I recall the name correctly. And that right there is why the Lions are not playing their starters. No sense in putting them in harm's way if you don't have to. And to answer your question, Chakayam, I am not smoking, I'm vaping. And what I'm vaping is a vape juice that I picked up while I was in Michigan. And this is some, we'll say this right now, this is some pretty strong stuff. It's like 25% nicotine. So it's like whenever you take a hit, especially when you first wake up in the morning, it is a whoosh. I'll be honest with you, DC. I don't think he does. I mean, Hooker could make the practice squad, but the problem is if he does make the practice squad, the Lions are going to have to protect him every single week. And I think the Lions can only protect 3 players a week. Could be 4. I could be wrong. Could be 4. Maybe it could be 5. I don't know. But I know it's like 3 players or 3, 4, or 5 players they can protect every single week. But it's like the real question you have to ask yourself is if you bring back Hooker and you put him on the practice squad, and that is, of course, if no other team poaches him before the Lions try to sign him to the practice squad, what good does that do Hooker? He's had 3 years in the system. 2 years where he's been actually able to play and physically perform. 1 year where he was actually able to sit back, watch, observe, learn the whole 9 yards. And yet we're still not seeing any progression. Oh, absolutely, DC. That was a hell of a pass by Kyle Allen and a hell of a catch by Isaac Tesla. Back to the game, and the nice hit at the end there by the defender on Powell. Oh. First and 10 for the Texans offense, and the Texans are on the 27-yard line. Play action snap. Throw is up, and that is definitely going to be a pass interference call on the defensive back because the defensive back literally grabbed the freaking receiver's feet and prevented him from going and getting the touchdown catch, or at least having a chance to get it. The penalty is going to be against number 42 of the Lions defense. Texans 1st and 10 at the Lions 7-yard line. Can definitely tell Dan Campbell is very frustrated with these penalties. Texans quarterback under center does a pitch out to the right, and good backfield tackle for loss by the Lions right there by number 24, Loveland Strickland. Great job and great pursuit to get back there to get a good TFL. Texans are going to be in the gun. Got trips receivers to the left. Quarterback's barking out signals. And there's going to be a false start penalty against the Texans. So after the tackle for loss play, they're going to get backed up even more. It's going to be against their left tackle, number 76. And the left tackle is definitely standing there, probably thinking, how in the hell did I screw that up? 9 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Texans are now going to take the 2nd and goal snap from the 16-yard line. They're in the gun. Quarterback brings a man in motion from left to right, snaps the ball, does a quick bubble screen, and hits Powell, and Powell's going to get it all the way back up to what the original line of scrimmage was, but there is another penalty marker. And it looks like this is going to be against the Texans again for probably a hold. Nope, it's going to be a pass interference against the offense. So it's going to be another, so that's a spot foul. And if it's offensive pass interference, I think that's a 10-yard, 15-yard penalty. So it's going to be 15 yards back from where the spot was of the foul. So Now they're outside. They might be outside the 30 now. Lions aren't going to draft Arch Manning, Black Jacket. There's no reason to draft him. Jared Goff is going to be the quarterback here for the next 7-10 years. Texans snap, look to throw. Pressure's being brought, trying to set up a screen, and it is another drop, and Trevor Nowaski is the one that blows the play up in the backfield, and the play is not able to be executed completely, so it's going to be a third and very long goal for the Texans offense. Nowaski absolutely sniffed out that play and just absolutely rocked the freaking running back in completing that pass. So third and goal, a long third and goal for the Texans offense at the 26-yard line. Texans are coming out with a 4-receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. They're in the gun. Quarterback gets the ball, snaps it, throws it underneath, and holy cow! Strickland just absolutely blasted that freaking guy into the next century. Woo-wee! Strickland made 2 great plays on this drive with the TFL and the absolutely big-time boy tackle right there. Strickland just absolutely made one of the best tackles I've seen in a long time. Just absolutely came up and just boom! Just pow! So the Lions defense again stands tall, holds the Texans to a field goal attempt here, which is a 36-yarder. Should be an easy one. Kick is wide. It is incomplete. So for the second time in a row, the Texans special teams messes up and is not able to get points. That's 4 points that the Texans have left off the board with a botched extra point and now a missed field goal. Strickland has a good shot of making the team, Dean. Strickland has a real good shot of making it. And Hutch is absolutely pumped up along with freaking Kelvin Shepard. They're just like, woo! Thank you for the donation, Dale. Definitely appreciate it. And I am very happy and appreciative that I got past 10,000 subscribers. I'm now actually past 10,100. So you guys have been an absolutely amazing crowd. Absolutely an amazing set of, fans. Looking forward to continue to grow and continue to have fun with everything. I don't know if it was the wind or not, Brandon, but I'm telling you this right now. The special teams of the Texans is definitely making it a lot easier for us to stay in the game because when you leave 4 points off the board, it gives us chances to actually make plays on the opposite end to, get back in the game. Now, obviously, that means that the offense is going to have to do something. And ever since Kyle Allen left, the offense has pretty much been blowing like a bad. Man. I could really make a bad joke, especially considering who we've got as the quarterback right now, but it might get me in trouble. Woo! Man, I just had a really, really interesting joke that would have absolutely been that would have got me in trouble. That would have definitely got me in trouble. But it definitely would have fit. Definitely would have fit. Oh boy. Pretty much, Dean, the joke was going to be this. The Lions offense right now has been about as effective as a hooker's hole that has been absolutely exploited. Pretty much it's, absolutely nothing comes out of there except pretty much, like I said, nothing. The car's doing okay. There are some problems with it. I'm trying to get the brakes done on both the front and the rear. It's been a little bit of a problem trying to set up stuff, but it's doing all right. So, Gordon, Glasgow's fine, no ETA, but it's a minor injury, not a problem. Hooker snaps, play action. There's a flag in the backfield, and Hooker does make a good throw downfield, but it's not going to matter because it's going to be a holding penalty against the Lions' offensive line, which is going to back them up 10 yards. Already knew that was going to come. Already knew that was coming. Good job by Hooker to navigate and, move in the pocket, but all for naught. All for naught. It's probably one of the better plays I've seen out of Hooker, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. The only thing it counts for is that, hey, you know what? You got it on tape. No, Tesla's not in, Bees. He got taken out in, I think, the second quarter. Hooker snaps it, is going to hand it off to the running back, and the running back is going to get maybe a yard. Maybe a half a yard. It's not that I'm investing money in Lions apparel. In fact, I haven't bought a whole hell of a lot of Lions apparel. I haven't bought much of anything Lions related in about a year. It's more due to the fact that I'm in one place and my wife is in another due to certain family arrangements, and we're having to support two households. But thank you. Military has a lovely way of doing that to people. But thank you for your concern. Gordon, my thoughts on, Demo and Gibbs being in the backfield at the same time, Sonic and Knuckles, I think that's going to be a really, really deadly combination. Hooker is in the gun, 3rd and 13. Got a 4 receiver set. Hooker drops, looks to throw, is going to try and scramble, does a shovel pass to the running back, and the running back is going to be short. Sailors is going to be about 5 yards, 6 yards short, so the Lions are going to have to punt the ball. So again, good job by Hooker to try and, scramble and try and make something happen with nothing, but again, all for naught. But that's not on Hooker there. That's more the offensive line, but it is what it is. Nikki, yeah, I did actually like the worm celebration by Tesla. I thought that was pretty neat, pretty cool, actually. Punt is away, and the Texans are going to set up shop at the 20-yard line. Currently 5 minutes and 50 seconds, give or take a second or so, left in the third quarter. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Lions because everybody wants to make a big deal about the fact that we've got new offensive and defensive coordinators. But, I mean, I'm telling you, it doesn't seem to matter that we've got new offensive and defensive coordinators. The way these guys are playing, the way the guys are performing, they're absolutely just, doing a great job. Man, I'm telling you, these Levi Jeans commercials are getting very suggestive. Just saying. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, I absolutely agree, Jason. I think Tesla is Tesla is probably going to be one of the best rookies this year. I think a lot of people are going to underestimate him, but I think, he starts really banking some plays and he really starts building some more rapport with golf, which I think is really good. I think Tesla could be an outside black horse candidate for the Rookie of the Year. I mean, I'll say this. I would much rather have Hooker play it safe, and I would much rather have Hooker not try and, get all squirrely with it. But the problem is like you said, he's doing it too little too late. I get it. You're trying to make plays. I get it. You're trying to stand out. But the more you do that and you're not able to make plays, it just looks like you're not doing your job. All right, Texans are starting at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Slavis at quarterback. Slavis snaps, looks to throw, gets the ball out, and is going to be caught, and is going to be a pick of about 7 or 8 yards. Going to be a 2nd and 2 coming up for the Texans offense. Well, we have seen Hooker play with the second team. He just hasn't done anything, Bees, and that's the problem. It's like you can give a guy number of opportunities, but if you can't do anything with those opportunities, the coaches are not going to keep giving it to you. Slavis in the gun, 2nd and 3, snaps the ball, quick bubble screen out, and good tackle there, good shoestring tackle there by Strickland. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, probably a 3rd and 2, maybe a 3rd and long 1. Yeah, that was definitely the definition of a shoestring tackle, but good job by Strickland to be right there. True, not as much, but that's because he's not been able to do anything with them when he's been out there. 3rd and 2, Slavis in the gun, snap, looks to throw. Quick throw on a slant and wide open. And Quintez Cephas is the one that makes the catch. Absolutely way too easy there as number 25, the cornerback for the Lions, absolutely got beat right from the start. Which, I mean, you got to think about it here. Quintez Cephas used to be a starter for us, so it's like you got a starting receiver out there playing against third-string cornerbacks. I mean, that's going to happen. It sucks, but it's going to happen. Slavis under center. Slavis snaps it, hands it off to the running back, and Texans are going to pick up about 5, maybe 6 yards, depending upon the spot. Going to be a 2nd and 4 coming up. Second and 4, it looks like, for the Texans. Slavis in the gun, 2 receivers to the left. Slavis snaps, hands the ball off, and the Lions defense is going to stop the running back right in his tracks, probably only a gain of a half a yard. It's all right, Nikki. Don't worry about it. That's why I say donations are appreciated, but they're not expected. If you can do it, great. If not, don't hold anything against people. That's why I don't have memberships on my channel. I think people that decide to put memberships on their channel, that's fine. You do what you want to do, but I'm never, ever going to require people to pay for my content. It's like, listen, if you want to watch my content, it's free to watch. If you want to donate because you feel that the content is good, that's great. But I'm never, ever going to require people to pay for my content. That, to me, I think, for the Texans. Because the way I look at it is, it's like, listen, if I'm a content maker, I should not at all be making it to where you have to pay to watch my content. You should be able to watch the content, and then if you want to donate, if you want to give money, that's one thing. But it shouldn't be a requirement for you to pay for me. That, I think, is just absolutely ridiculous. Slavis gets the snap, does a boot out in a play action, gets the ball out. It's caught. It's going to be a second and 3 coming up for the Texans. I think the Lions could, heavy emphasis on that word, could go undefeated on the road, but I also think it's likely they might drop 1 or 2. Because you got to think about it. We're on the road against the Commanders, we're on the road against the Eagles, and we're on the road against the Ravens. I mean, that is a hard trio to try us beating all 3 of them on the road. Is it impossible? No, it's not. The Lions can definitely do it. They've been road warriors for the last 2-3 years under Campbell, so it's possible. It's definitely possible. It's not probable, but it is possible. Third and 1 coming up for the Texans. I formation for the Texans. Slavis under center. And Slavis is checking something. And Slavis snaps it, hands it off, and the Lions defense is not going to be able to make the stop. It's going to be a first down for the Texans. Their running back was barely able to get it, but still got it all the same. I'm going to be honest with you, Nikki. We're not going to rest our starters. It's not going to happen. The Lions under Campbell have never rested their starters. They never have. They have pulled their starters when they're up by like 35, 40 points, but they have never rested them. And honestly, there's good reason why you shouldn't rest them. Because we have seen teams that, they've got a 15-1 record, they got a 14-1 record in the past, and they decide to rest the starters so that way, they can go into the playoffs fresh. But it's like you take that week off, you get out of the game mode, you get out of that rhythm, you get out of that chemistry, and then you got to spend that time getting back into that. Campbell's not going to do that. Oh, Gordon, I guarantee you Philly fans aren't going to put up with that. But you know what? It doesn't matter if they want to put up with it. What matters is if the team on the field, which is the Eagles, can actually do something to stop us. Anyway. But anyway, keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. Have no problem answering. Sideline report is with Jameson Williams right now. That's interesting. I'll be honest, Nikki D, I don't think it's going to happen. The Packers already tried to make a trade for Micah Parsons, if you believe the reports, and that didn't go anywhere. And I don't think that the Packers are going to be able to make a swing for a trade like that. I just don't think they're going to. Because you have to understand something here. When you're and this is the part of the reason why I think Lions fans don't understand the difficulty of trading for an edge rusher. especially when you're talking about Micah Parsons, and especially when you're talking about Trey Hendrickson. Not only are you having to trade away that draft capital, but you also then have to sign that massive contract on the backside. It's hard to do. Those types of trades don't happen very often. Looks like the Texans just turned the ball over and the Lions get a turnover. The Lions have gotten a turnover. And it's not a pick, Dean. It was a fumble recovery, actually. I think it was a fumble. I think the Texans player caught it, and it's a fumble. No, you are right. It was a pick. It was a pick. Quintez Cephas couldn't squeeze the ball. The ball came out in midair, and it was picked off by, I'm trying to see who it was. Looks like number 36, but it is a turnover for the Lions, and they are now out on offense. So, final preseason game of the year, the Lions get a turnover. Only took them all 4 preseason games to finally get one, and that was because of the fact that the Texans player screwed up. Hendon Hooker in the gun, snaps, looks to throw, is going to throw it, and we get an interception, and then Hendon Hooker overthrows his receiver and throws another interception right back. Damn it. That's it. Hooker done. Hooker done. Absolutely sailed that ball and got intercepted. That's now the 5th turnover by Hendon Hooker in 4 games. 5th turnover by him. Wow. Lovett didn't even have a chance. Even if he had gotten his head turned around, he didn't have a chance. That ball literally sailed over him. So your defense gets a turnover, and then the very next play, you throw an interception. Wow. I don't even know what to say. So, unsportsmanlike conduct by the Texans is going to push them back 15 yards from the dead ball spot, but damage has already been done. Damage has already been done. Hooker has now had quite literally 3 picks and 2 fumbles in 4 games. 3 picks and 2 fumbles. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this. Did I or did I not say that Hooker was not going to be that good? In every single game almost, he has proven that it was not going to work. It never should have worked. The Lions should have never drafted him. Again, I don't remember which one of y'all said it, but I know someone has said it. The only reason I think Hendon Hooker got drafted was just so that way it would shut up some Lions fans about trying to get a quarterback. And it's just like, dude, it's like ever since then, he's had 1 good preseason game. 1. And that was last year, and I think it was against the Dolphins, if I recall correctly. And it's like, dude, ever since then, he has just been a walking turnover machine. It's like, dude, you can't have him as the backup quarterback if you literally are just a turnover machine. I'll say this, when it comes to quarterbacks, seeing as how I used to play quarterback, have I or have I not been spot on with my assessment on Goff and my assessment on Hooker? I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, folks, but I literally have gotten so much hate over the last couple of years because of how I've stood by Goff and how I have constantly been like, dude, Hooker's not what y'all think he's going to be. I don't know what else to tell you. I would think by now people would just be like, hey, you know what? Probably not a good idea to question David on quarterbacks. Probably just not a good idea. The Lions overall, we're talking about backups here, folks. And again, when the second team offense was in, they were fine. Lions are going to do fine. They're not going 10-8. They're going to do fine. cow, they got pushed almost all the way back to the 30-yard line. But either way, Slavis under center at the 28-yard line. Slavis snaps, play action, looks to throw, is going to throw it, has a wide open guy on the sideline, and it is caught by Quintez Cephas, the guy who couldn't squeeze the ball last time. But now the Texans are back in the red zone. And it looks like there's something wrong with Cephas. Can't tell if it's an injury or not, but it looks like he's having some sort of an issue. Texans are now at the 12-yard line. Slavis in the gun. Snap, handoff, and it's going to be bounced outside. And he is going to get to probably the 2 or 1 yard line there, but it's going to be a first down for the Texans. And the Texans are knocking on the door. Nate, you are absolutely 100% correct. 100% correct. Texans are at the 1 yard line. Texans are coming in a big formation. One receiver to the right, stacked on the left-hand side of their formation, hand the ball off, and that running back is absolutely swarmed for another TFL. And the interior of the Lions' defensive line just absolutely smothers Jordan. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Lions are going to win 13 to 14 games. Yeah, they're going to not be probably 15-2 again this year, but floor for them is 12, ceiling is 15. That's literally what's going to happen. Slavis snaps, boots to the right, is going to throw it, and it is caught. Touchdown, Texans. And the Texans have now opened up a 3-score lead. So at this point, the game is definitely over because at this point, the Lions are going to be lucky if they get 2 more possessions, and this is a 3-possession game. So unless the Lions defense can get another turnover, or unless the Lions offense can really start pulling off something, which with Hooker in, there's no way that's going to happen, the game's pretty much over. Game's pretty much over. And the kick is up, and this time the Texans convert on special teams. Lions are now down 23-7. Paul, I'm going to say this right now. We are not winning with Hooker in. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I understand it ain't over until it's over, but you have to understand here, the only way the Lions are going to win, this game, and again, winning preseason games doesn't matter. It does not matter. But if you're trying to win the game to make a statement, you have to understand something here. There's like 12 and a half minutes left. You might be able to squeeze out 3 possessions. Which, understand something here. The Lions are down by 3 possessions. I understand, Paul. I'm just putting it out there because I know somebody going to actually think that, Hooker can do something. No, Hooker ain't going to do nothing. Hooker couldn't even hook a smallmouth bass. At this point, if I was the Lions, I'd put in Jake Bates at quarterback. I'd put Jack Fox in at quarterback. That's how much I don't want to see Hooker again. I would rather have my punter, who's a high school quarterback, go out there and freaking take the snaps. No, I don't think he would, Jason. I don't think Hooker would look better with the first team offense than he has with the second or the third team offense. It just does not have it just doesn't correlate. If you're not good with the second team offense, and you're not good with the third team offense, what makes you think any better? And I'm not saying this to you specifically, Jason. I'm saying this hypothetically. What makes you think that you're going to look better with the first team offense? It just ain't going to happen. Jake Fromm, currently out, Tori, is a free agent, if I recall correctly. Kennedy is the one that gets the kickoff, and Kennedy's going to get it down to almost the 30-yard line. It's going to be at the 28. Hooker is back out there, and I'm now able to see number 40. That is not Hanton. That is Horton. Started with an H. "12 minutes and 50 seconds left. Hooker under center. 12-man formation. Hooker snaps it, hands it off, and it is going to be no gain for the Lions. At this point, I think the Lions are just trying to get more assessment on guys on the offensive line. I'm actually kind of upset that Jackson Meeks has not gotten more of a look in this game. He's just not gotten a whole lot of looks his way. Hooker in the gun. Hooker looks. Hooker is going to scramble, and Hooker is going to pick up a first. And Hooker is going to get out past midfield. Thank God he actually held on to the ball. Hooker picks up 25 yards there on the scramble, so good job by Hooker there picking up that first down. But again, the only thing about that is, just like TJ Lang said, for crying out loud, dude, slide, slide, slide. Is it so much to ask that you slide? It's like, dude, you've already gotten the first down. Protect yourself and slide. Hooker in the gun, looks to throw, throws it underneath, and it's completed, or is it not completed? It's incomplete, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up for the Lions. Can clearly tell Hooker is frustrated playing quarterback. Can definitely tell he's frustrated. His attitude and his body demeanor is just not there. Hooker in the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, with a tight end left. Hooker snaps it, hands it off to the running back, and the running back is going to pick up about 2 yards, going to make it a 3rd and 8 for the Lions offense. Hooker in the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hooker snaps, looks to throw. Hooker steps up, throws it, and it's intercepted again. And they're going to blow it dead, actually. It was not intercepted, but again, another airmail. Fourth and 7 for the Lions offense coming up. Hooker snaps, looks to throw, gets it out, and too much zip, incomplete, turnover on downs. Oh boy. Is it possible you guys were lied to? Hell yeah, you guys were lied to. Easy. Oh boy. I'm gonna refrain from saying anything about Easy. I've said more than I've ever wanted to say about his assessment on players in football, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm going to be back in a second, guys. I need to grab something to. I need to grab. Don't know why my camera did that, but apparently it did. Oh boy. Trying to bring some jokingness to the game. Slavis in at quarterback again, throws it quick slant, and it is a completion. Going to be a first down for the Texans. Texans convert the down. Again, I'm just writing right now, folks, because I'm already putting together my show notes for the next show because Slavis under center, snaps it, hands it off. Running back's going to bounce outside, and it's going to be a tackle that's going to be short of the marker, but still going to be a manageable second down for the Texans. Like I said, Independent, great that he can run, but the fact that he still hasn't learned how to slide is a no-go. Slavis under center, going to be a weak eye formation. Slavis snaps, hands it off, and running back's going to go nowhere. Slovis is in the gun, going to bring a man in motion, snaps it, hands the ball off, and wow. Burst right up the middle on the draw play, and Texans convert. Good pressure there by Nate Lynn on Slovis's face. Incompleted that, made it much easier to incomplete that pass there. 2nd and 10 for the Lions defense. Good job by Lynn. Dean, I thought Nate Lynn's played good today, along with Alquadin Muhammad. Well, the bettors have been wrong before. They can be wrong again. They might usually be are, but when it comes to the Lions, how many times have we beaten the spread against them, Paul? Just putting that out there. Plus, on top of that, let's also remember something. What's his face? Jordan Love is coming back from an injury. Texans are coming out for another field goal attempt, 48 yards away. Kick is up, and the kick was on a bit of a low line drive, but it is good. Just so you all know, I am not ignoring the stream. I am not ignoring the game. I'm just, getting myself up and, putting together stuff for the video that I'm going to release immediately after this game is over. Lions are down 26-7. Lions are going to get the ball back. With the Lions' only score coming from Kyle Allen's touchdown throw to Isaac Tesla. So we'll see what the Lions can do over the last portion of these 6.5 minutes that are remaining. And kickoff goes into the end zone. Lions will start at the 35-yard line. First and 10 for the Lions offense. 6.5 minutes remaining. Lions are down by 19 points. Hooker is still in at quarterback. 2 receivers to the right. Actually, 3, pardon me, with 1 receiver to the left. Hooker snaps, looks to throw, gets it out, completes it to Ronnie Bell, and that is a good completion of about 15, 16 yards. Hurry up offense for the Lions. Hooker in the gun. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hooker snaps, looks to the throw, and Hooker throws underneath, gets it complete to his running back, and his running back's going to pick up another first down as the Texans are pretty much playing soft zone coverage. So at this point, the Lions can pretty much just dink and dunk down the field all they want. Hooker in the gun, snaps, looks to throw, holds the ball way too long, and is instantaneously sacked on a cornerback blitz, but there is a flag on the play. And you can tell that Dan Campbell is not happy with how Hooker handled that play. And is also not happy with the fact that there is a flag on the play as well. But the flag is probably going to get declined due to the sack. I called it. And the play is a legal formation on Ronnie Bell, who just made that catch to start the drive. And already Lions are already showing a lot of problems with their third string offense, but primarily, again, with Hendon Hooker. 2nd and 18, Hooker in the gun, low snap, quick throw on a bubble screen. And the throw is again to Ronnie Bell, and Bell's going to pick up about 7 yards, going to make it about 3rd and 11, maybe 3rd and 10, depending upon the spot. Hooker in the gun again, 3rd and 12, snaps, looks to throw, checks it down underneath, gets it to his running back, which is going to be a completion of about another 6, maybe 7 yards, so it'll make it a manageable 4th down, which the Lions are obviously going to go on, but we'll see how the Lions do on this drive. Hooker in the gun again, trips receivers to the right, 1 on the left, 4th and 5. Hooker snaps, looks to throw, and is going to scramble right into a defensive lineman, going to get sacked, and just absolutely gets nowhere. So rather than going through his progression, Hooker tries to just scramble and pick up yards and absolutely kills the Lions' drive and kills any chance of a comeback. Thank you, Hooker. Well, that once again shows that Hooker does not know how to play the position, because he should have stayed in the pocket, should have tried to make a play, and did not, and instead wound up getting sacked and turned the ball over. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Just unbelievable. Oh, boy. Dean, I would say a better comparison would be Ty Detmer. Just saying. So let's see here. 12 plus 10, that's 22. 24 plus that equals that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Like I said, folks, I'm not in any way ignoring your guys' comments. You guys keep going right away and commenting. I'm just, like I said, trying to put together show notes. Let's see here. Do. Oh, brother. Oh, my God. Well, at this point, folks, I'm not even going to try and do any more broadcast announcing because the game's over. The Texans just got another first down. It's after 2 minutes, so the game's over, folks. Game's over. The Lions aren't going to get the ball back. They're not going to try and get the ball back because, well, it doesn't really make a damn bit of difference for them to get the ball back. Game's over. Everybody knows it, so that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. I'm going to tell you this right now. Thank you for the donation, Braylon. And I'm going to say this. Your comment, I 100% agree. I would put Meeks over Lovett the whole damn way. Wouldn't even have to think twice on that one. Meeks has shown more than Lovett has, and that's not to say that Lovett's not good, but Lovett's probably one of those guys that I would say, yeah, you know what? You're a candidate for the practice squad. So, is what it is. Seven. And the game is officially over with the Texans winning 26-7. Trust me, Jason, I can guarantee you this with all assurance. You are not probably the most disappointed or probably the most upset with Hooker. Probably not even close on this day. I would have to say probably Hooker's biggest fans, or the ones that were really hoping he was going to be something, were the ones that were probably wanting the most out of him. And again, got Jack Bubkus. So that's 21 plus 5 is 26. And then wait a minute, wait a minute, I'm missing something here. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, folks, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say, really, because honestly, everything that has transpired this preseason has pretty much confirmed a lot of things for me. Number one, O-line depth is going to be important. That is for a fact. Number two, Hendon Hooker is officially done, probably not only with the Lions, but probably also in the NFL. And number three, the Lions defense is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's no two ifs, ands, or buts about that. Do 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 do. Anyway, I will just say this, folks, that out of all the things that we saw from the preseason, the most deliberately 100% cannot be argued or debated on is that, and I don't like using this term with people, especially football players, but there's no way around it. Hendon Hooker just sucks. Just absolutely sucks. And y'all who've watched me for a long time know that is not a phrase that I use very often. I'll say someone's bad, but sucks. I typically don't say that. I typically do not say that. Hendon Hooker is probably one of the worst quarterbacks I have seen in a long time. And I have seen my fair share of them. So 44. Well, I will say this, though, folks. You definitely get an opportunity to see me do what I love to do, which is put my show notes together. Might not be the most visually appealing or entertaining, but at least you can see why or how I do the things that I do. Hoo-wee. Yeah, that's bad. That is worse than Limburger cheese bad. Well, I officially have my show notes ready. You can clearly see that they are written. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to get to work right away on recording this show. And then hopefully within about an hour from the time I end the stream, I'll be able to release it. And so that way you guys can figure out what I've been working on. But anyway, obviously not the outcome Lions fans were looking for at all. Nobody wanted to see us lose, but the Texans are a good team, and it's hard to win when you have a lot of penalties, and it's even harder to win when your quarterback is constantly screwing up. But anyway, guys and gals, I'm going to end this stream, get to work on this, and then you guys can see what I got cooking within a little bit. But anyway, I'll see you guys a little bit later. And until then, thank you all for joining the stream. Thank you for those that made donations. Thank you all for your comments and support. But until the next time we meet, which should be shortly, I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you. God bless and good night.